Tonight's theme is kids or no kids, the choices that women make. We've invited Zoe along to share with us, and not just to share about what she's created in her book, but also the journey of her getting to this place as a woman and learning and reading about these things. So first of all, I want to acknowledge all of you for coming this evening. This is a topic that, in talking to a lot of women were hesitant to share and talk about these things. Seems that kids and children and these choices are quite an emotional topic for women. So I acknowledge and appreciate that it's a bit more of an emotional evening this evening. So please enjoy and please welcome Zoe.
Thank you. Choice certainly is something that's been bantered tonight, and choice is about children, kids or no kids. And last month when I was here, it was all about who am I and how have I come about to do what I do, and the choice of kids or no kids. And choice is something that I see myself today as a choice expert. And okay, well, how do I get to that? And when I look at, and one of the great questions you were asking was last month, well, who am I at the core level? And I see myself as moving cells, and in these moving cells, it's the choices I make that have them vibrate acoustically. And that's really powerful for us to really realise that, that great example, you chose to smile and laugh, and how acoustically you changed immediately. And it's really quite profound. And I was thinking, well, choices, kids or no kids, my choices, when did it really start? Well, it started with my mum and dad. They made a choice. And I was a choice because I don't know if any of you know who I am. I'm Zoe Slater, and I have two older brothers, Murray Masarick and another brother, Andrew Masarick. And Mum and Dad had two boys, and Mum really wanted a girl. And my dad just wanted the end of babies. So I was like, let's go again. And Dad's like, oh my God. So while I'm in my mum's room, I've also spent a lot of time and a lot of money investing in who am I. And so I remember being in the room and thinking, my God, my mum so wants me because she really wants a girl. So there's a big thumbs up. And my dad really, really wants me because he just doesn't want to go again. So he's praying, I hope it's a girl. So I'm thinking, yay, I was a conscious choice for my mum and dad. And that's really profound, and because that's about us women today having a conscious choice about do you or do you not want to have children. And then I thought, okay, well, where else have those choices taken me? And I remember being only 6 weeks old, and my mum had unravelled me, and I was at my grandmother's place, and in Greek it's called a yaya. And my yaya started to go, oh my God, she's going to die, because I had this big cyst on the side of my leg. And if anyone has European friends or family, it's not like, oh my God, they're going to die. Oh my God, they're going to die, Get to the hospital, stressing. My mum's like freaking out, my girl, And so the rest of the hospital, and they stab me in the side of the leg, and they just start squeezing out this lovely pus for weeks and weeks. And I made a conscious choice, hey, am I going to live or am I going to die? And so I went through that, and then I was playing with my brother Andrew at the back of the fruit shop when I was about 6 years old. And again, another moment in my life when, as you do, we had a fruit shop, and we had a shopping trolley at the back, and my brother's spinning me around and around and around. I'm the youngest, of course. So, and I think it's time I leap out of this shopping trolley. And he says, wouldn't it be funny if I spun while she's leaping? I come crashing down on my tailbone. And I just, again, remember this distinct moment when I looked in my brother's eyes and thought, you know what, if I move a little bit to the right, I'm actually going to be paralysed. If I move to the left, I'll be okay. And when those life moments present to you, it's like everything slows down. And you get to see every nanosecond, every every nuance of your choice in that moment. And I looked in Andrew's eyes and I could see the fear, and a part of me is going, oh, I feel a bit vengeful, I want to make you feel guilty for the rest of my life. And then the other side went, hang on, I can just extrapolate this. I can see myself in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. What do I choose here? And, you know, luckily for me, I didn't feel vengeful and I chose to walk, you know. And that's been the path of my life. And I'm just going to like skip a little forward now. And as a young adult, I was given by my parents the privilege and honour to manage their motel and restaurant. And they gave me total autonomous signature on the lovely big checkbook. We trust you with this. And it really was an honour. But in amongst that, having a restaurant, you know, there's a lot of alcohol, there's a lot of nights where, you know, you've got people at your bar telling you about their life and articulating so clearly, you know, what it is that they perceive, what it is that's going on for them, but choosing differently. And again, I'm thinking, why do people do this? And so as time went on, I ended up moving to Sydney, where I met my husband, and I studied as a mature age student at the psychology, and it was really powerful for me because at that point in time, just before I studied, I was managing an agency, and I thought, you know, it's more than just the right job. It's about you and about your choices. And so I went on and studied, and then Murray did his first workshop and invited my husband, come on up. And so we travelled for years backwards and forwards in Sydney doing all the workshops, and then we decided to move to Brisbane, and then he said, can I help me, you know, design the coach program? And that was a privilege. And then we spent years doing all the workshops, and then my husband and I said, you know, I think it's time we have kids. It's time we do this. And like, oh, yeah, all right. But as a mature age student, I twice actually said no to my husband before having kids. And that was a real challenge for me because at one point he said, you know, I'm ready, let's have kids. And I thought, you know what, you're not ready. You're actually going through a life change here. You're changing your career. And you're not in the state of mind that I want to have children with. And, you know, he was going through so many challenges. I was also acutely aware, as much as I love you, if you don't come out of this state of mind, I may have to choose a life without you. And if having no children to you in this state of mind is part of my course, then that is part of my course. And that was a real challenge for me. And then when I finished studying and he said, well, let's do it again, I went, there's no way. You know, I'm going to put my new skills, you know, to use. And so I'm going to play in this field for a while. And it wasn't until I became so confident in what I was doing and so ready that I thought, you know, I'm ready to add a whole new adventure to my life. I'm ready to add something that's going to add value to me and something that I'm going to enjoy. And I'm not doing it because, you know, my family expect me to. I'm not doing it because society expects me to, or my culture. I come from a Greek background on my mum's side and a Slovak side on my dad's. And in fact, I remember when I was 25, my dad said, hey, Zoe, Ella, come over here. I said, yes, Dad. You know, and I could see he was representing my mum at the same time as well. And he's like, you know, if you're not married, kids, you'll be left on the shelf. And I was thinking, oh, right, Dad. I said, well, yeah, I could name off a few of my cousins that, you know, there's been some expensive weddings for, like at least over 30,000, house, you know, mortgaged, etc. And they're already divorcing and they've got kids, and it's really quite maybe. He says, oh, yeah, so you make a good point. The shelf looks okay. My dad's great. You know, he's always said, you know, whatever you choose, yes, so he's always yes, yes, yes. And so, so when it came down for Jeffrey and I, you know, time to go, yeah, let's have kids, we said to one another, you know, let's go enjoy our lives. We've been doing a lot of workshop stuff. We've been doing a lot of study. We've been earning some bucks. We've really been discovering who we are. And we'd spent 10 years together, almost 10 years together before that question. And I got to say also, like, I never wanted to have kids before meeting Jeffrey, ever. There's no way I was stretching for anybody. You know? And I was sharing earlier, you know, I saw this little movie once of this cow giving birth.
Yeah, that's enough to turn you
horrified me. There's no way. And in fact, it wasn't until I smelt my husband and I saw him in that first seconds, I went, my God, what's going on? The ephemerons of this man and the presence of this man is deeping down, right down to my ovaries and going, want to have babies? This is all inside here. Oh my God. I've never met a man who's done this to me before. You know, I just thought you belonged in my black book, you know. And so, you know, and so as our life went on and he said, come on, let's have kids. We said, okay, time to do it. So when we're 10 years down the track and, but what was really important, we decided to go out and do all the things that we really wanted to do before having children. We said, you know, what are the things? We hadn't seen a great tennis match, so we went, saw Andre Agassi and Lane Hewitt, you know, and all those, and travelled and did a few things. And it was so important for us to hang out and be lovers again. And hang out and enjoy one another's company. And what else was on that goal that really needs to be done before we get quiet? Because having children is a quiet time. It's not a yang time, it's a yin time. It's very introspective and it's very alone. And for a lot of women actually, and I find it more in today's day and age, a lot more women are actually going through postnatal depression because we've had this really vital life of activities and even whilst you're pregnant, especially with your first child, it's like, hey, I can still go out to dinner, girlfriend, I can meet you there, yeah, we can go out shopping, we can do all kinds of things. But suddenly when that child's born, everything changes. Everything changes. So really, go out and do all the things that you want to do before you have kids.